to the folks who I know, hello and hope you're well. But yeah, no, IPS is a great partner of ours, and we are excited about just walking through a general overview of Salient and our software, the CompleteView VMS software. We've had a lot of improvements the last year or two, really, and pretty pumped out about where we're heading with the product and some of the future capabilities. So Nick will drive through it. We have our engineer John on just in case anybody wants to get down in the weeds with technical questions, and I'll keep it short. So yeah, Nick, all yours. Thank you.
All right, so good morning, everybody. As Jim said, I am the regional sales manager for Kentucky and Ohio, right down the road actually from IPS. John Buxell is our systems engineer. He's actually located in Cincinnati as well. So we certainly have the boots on the ground covered for you. Want to make sure, can you guys see my screen, correct? Perfect,
yes.
Thank you. So yeah, no, just I want to thank IPS again. They're a great partner, long-standing history between IPS and Salient. We certainly appreciate their time this morning and hosting the event. We're going to give you a brief overview of who Salient is and our VMS CompleteView. We want to, make sure everyone.
Nick, your audio just cut out.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. So yeah, the goal of this today is to certainly do that 50,000-foot view, who Salient is, talk about our VMS, and then we certainly would encourage you to reach out. I'm sorry? Can you hear me?
Yes. I'm not sure what's happening.
Yeah, is it cutting in and out?
I can hear you good now. I think we had a little bit of an echo before, and the time before that it did cut out. Okay.
All right. So yeah, we're just going to jump right into this. Again, after today's, we understand everybody has an hour slotted for this, so we'll jump into who Salient is, a little bit about our software, and then again, we would encourage you to reach back out to the folks at IPS, and we'd love to do a deep dive with you and reach into your specifics. So who is Salient? So Salient, we focus on a VMS. We are 26 years in the business. We're privately held. We're based out of Austin, Texas. What that means is our development, manufacturing, shipping, and support is all done in Texas. We are NDAA compliant and FCC compliant. Your support team. So we went a little bit into, you've been introduced to the folks at Salient. Our technical support is here to support the IPS team. So you have a technical support team through them. And then John Buxell, our engineer, will assist them as well. Our VMS. So CompleteView is our open architecture VMS. Basically what that does is that enables your organization to integrate new or existing assets. We're completely open. You can leverage the cameras, access control, and video analytic technology that you currently have. And IPS can certainly help you reach in and explore new opportunities that can integrate with us as well. Dynamic resolution scaling. So this certainly makes us a little bit different than the other VMSs out there. I'm not going to read these bullet points to you, but the takeaway here is that it's a special sauce that we minimize our bandwidth consumption over your network. So a little bit in how this works, a little example here. So hypothetically speaking, that's a 5-megapixel camera. We're going to take that 5 megapixels worth of data. This is a traditional VMS. It sends it to their DVR or their NVR, and it spits out that full 5 megapixels worth of data. On our side, the dynamic resolution scaling, we're going to take that same 5 megapixels worth of resolution. You're always recording at your native resolution, so you don't have to worry about losing any detail. We're sending that to our CompleteView server, and we're only going to send out the data that your client is requesting. We understand that you're typically running a 1080p monitor. There's no need to send full 5 megapixels worth of data across the network. So again, we're sending out only what your client is asking for at the time. If you need more detail, more resolution, no problem. You just double click, enhance that image, and we will actually dynamically send you more detail. Well, you'll actually see this today in the demonstration. And by the way, we encourage questions. So if anyone has any questions throughout the presentation, please feel free, put it in the chat. Just unmute yourself and ask away. Easy migration to IP. So for those of you that have existing analog infrastructure, we provide at no cost a capture card here. It has the BNC connectors on the back of it. It goes in the server, connect your analog at any point. You want to switch over to IP, it's just simply disconnecting the BNC connectors. There's no additional charge to convert from analog to IP. We provide this, this card at no cost to you, and at which point, again, once you convert over, we'll just pull that out, toss it in the trash, and you move to IP. No cost for that conversion. Being open architecture, again, that enables us to work with all the major manufacturers out there. This is just a list of the few camera partners that we have. You'll notice we are ONVIF compliant as well, but there's no need to worry about, you know, the camera manufacturer. We'll work with IPS, they'll work with you, they'll pick the camera that's best for your need, and it works with our system. The same with AI integrations. So again, being that open architecture, Salient has many partners in this category, and we're happy to provide introductions through you. We actually have a certification with Briefcam right from our GUI. So right from the CompleteView interface, you can access Briefcam and take advantage of their AI integrations. It is important to note that that is an additional add-on, so they have their own server. We don't sell it. It doesn't come packaged with our system. It is just an add-on with a third-party integration of ours. So in terms of clients, you know, we have that traditional thick client. We also have an HTML5 web client. We have an iOS client and intuitive mobile apps. There's no cost for this. So Salient doesn't charge for servers. They don't charge for clients. You can have unlimited users. And we have different clients for you to achieve your goal. If you need that mobile client, it's there, again, at no cost, or you have the thick client, web client, or the iOS client as well. Our software models. So unlike many others, we truly have a simple software model. It's a 1-to-1 ratio for camera. You have a camera, you need a license. We have two options in terms of our license. We have a perpetual license. It's a one-time purchase per camera. You own it. Relatively new to Salient, we also have a subscription license offering. So it's an annual subscription. It's per camera. It gives you the complete access to our software updates, new features. Heaven forbid there's any bug fixes that we have to roll out, any new integrations, and 24/7 support. What's unique about this subscription offering is you can add cameras throughout that year at no additional cost. So on January 1, if you sign up and you have 100 cameras, it's 100 licenses. If you come back to IPS on June 2nd, you say, hey, I need to add 100 more, you're issued 100 new licenses at no charge. We allow you to add throughout the entire year with no charge, taking advantage of all the offerings, and then we just shore up with you at the beginning of the following year. So at that point, you would have 200 licenses. Any questions on that? I know that was a quick run through. I wanted to certainly get into the software to be able to take more advantages of our time here.
I don't see anything in the chat, so if there are no questions, we can keep going.
All right, perfect. Okay, so everybody can see my screen still? Perfect. So this is the CompleteView software. This is our landing page. So unique usernames and passwords will bring you to this page. We have 6 modules that really run our software. The top modules going across the top 3, dashboard, configure, and maintenance. Those are our admin modules. Down below that is live view, alarm view, and playback. Those are our typical user modules. Note, we do have a single icon to access all the modules. Unique usernames and passwords. There is a management server application that can reside anywhere, and you have the ability to use either VMS or Windows authentication. Active Directory is built in this as well. So again, these are your admin functionalities. This is going to give you that 30,000-foot view. How is my system behaving? So you'll notice over on my navigational panel, I have several servers over here that I can access at any point. Yes.
You might have mentioned this, but what version is the software that you're demoing?
So currently we are sitting on version 6.0. So this is our most up-to-date version, which you'll see right here. in the dashboard. So top left-hand corner, it talks specifically about the server that we're in. It gives you your host name, your friendly name. So we're actually accessing a server in Boise right now. We are running 6.0. You kind of get the total number of licenses if they're using any analog. You're getting your server performance here. You're getting ideas of all your volumes and how those volumes are being handled. Anyone who's actively connected to your server at that point in time, all of your cameras that you can click a live view at any point, and that'll bring that up down in the bottom right-hand corner, and then any events. So these are events that's taking place on this specific server. So again, the dashboard module is intended to be that 30,000 foot view health monitoring. How is my system performing right now? Our configure module, I won't spend too much time on that today. The configure module is actually where the system is set up. It is configured. So you would go in there, you're going to add your new users, you're going to set up cameras, set up views, do any overall system configuration. Maintenance is as what maintenance says. So if you need to do any updates, any performance, you're going to go into the maintenance tab. We're going to spend most of our time today in the live view. That is the meat and the potatoes of our system. So Salient has some great features, but at the end of the day, we focus on three things: live, search, and export. When someone purchases a VMS, what they really want is they want to be able to see that video, search that video, and then export that video out of their system in an effective and efficient manner. So I'm going to just run through the overall layout. Keep in mind, this is completely configurable, so we can adjust any of these slides at any point to make them larger or smaller. We can remove any of these features at any time by simply hitting the X button, and it will close those features out. We have a Staples Easy button, as I like to call it, built back into the system. So top right-hand corner, we can reset that layout, and it's going to take you back to that default layout. So you really don't have to worry about, you know, messing up your system too much. That safety feature, that net is built in there for you, so you can jump back at any time to your default layout based on your user permissions. Left-hand side of the screen is our navigational panel. And again, I want to point out that these are various servers scattered throughout the United States right now. I am over Wi-Fi. I'm not hard connected. And you're seeing how quickly that these are thumbing through these various views and various servers. That has a lot to do in part with our dynamic resolution scaling. We're truly minimizing that impact across one's network. Okay. And you'll notice we can jump through any of these at any point in time. That map is dynamic, so it is flowing with the camera view. It automatically syncs and attaches. So as you change views, that map is going to flow with you. Okay. Views and maps here, that is a global setting. So back to that configure module that we talked about. When IPS goes in and configures your system, they're going to set up this global views and maps for specific users and individuals. So what I mean by global, again, is these can be passed out to anyone with the correct permission during that configure phase. It's important to note that we have a custom tab here. So what our custom tab allows you to do is, for you as a unique individual, you can go in and you can create maps, you can create views, or you can add views and or maps to your favorites. This custom means it is unique to you as an individual. So as you create these different views and maps, you will be the only one with permission to them. Okay, so that is the standout difference between views and maps and custom and favorites. This is a global setting. This is an individual setting. Okay. Servers and cameras, this allows you to very quickly, we have a feature called text search. So today you're noticing in the demo that all my cameras, they're labeled by the camera manufacturer. We do that intentionally to highlight our open platform and our eager and willingness to work with many, many camera manufacturers. In your case, this text feature, you would be able to type the name of the camera and quickly come up with it. So for today's demo, I'm just going to type in access. And what that's going to do is that is searching every server that I'm connected to, every region that I'm connected to, and it is finding any camera with that specific name. So if you had, gate 12 that you wanted to type in, you could quickly go to gate 12 without having to thumb through all of your views to find that individual camera.
Nick, we have a question in the chat.
Sure.
Robert wants to know, are the customs stored on the server or only on the PC?
It is, John, I will let you answer that.
Sorry about that. I was on mute. You said, is the custom view stored on the server?
On the is it stored on the server or only on the PC?
For the server.
The server. Okay.
Any other questions?
That's the only one I see so far, and Robert says good to that answer. So he's liking what he's hearing.
All right, great. So yeah, again, with this text to search, basically you can put in the name of any specific camera, and you can quickly find that. So again, no thumbing through all those views to find something of importance very quickly. You can do the same. You have drop down here that allows you to access servers and regions, and again, quickly search any of those. Should you have any PTZs, we're actually giving you PTZ control here. So you would simply click the camera that's a PTZ, and then you would have control of it here. Okay. Here you're actually seeing the live view. So currently I've selected our Austin entrance. This is our headquarters down in Austin, Texas. We're going to spend the majority of our time today going through our Austin servers. We've got these set up with various views. So here's our entrances, our exterior, our interior, and again, you notice that that map is dynamically changing. This is a floor plan, so a lot of our partners end up just using their fire evacuation plans. They overlaid the cameras on top of them. Very simple, it's just drag and drop. Down here you have our video wall feature, and over here you have our events panel. So our video wall feature is a bit different than what most think of. You can have multiple monitors in your command center or in your office without necessarily having to take advantage of our video wall feature. Notice here I have the Austin interior checked. If I had multiple monitors, I could quickly go up. When in our system, when in doubt, right click. Right click brings up many of our features. So I would simply right click, I would hit new tab. You'll notice now I have two tabs. If I had a secondary monitor, I can quickly drag this tab by just holding, dragging it out, and then that tab becomes a tab that I can slide around to a secondary monitor if we had that, okay? You can do that same thing with an individual camera. You can select a new tab. Now I've got this camera that I can drag out. You can also do the same with a map. So I'm going to scroll up here and click our maps. We'll select Boise map, new tab. It shows up in the map feature. Just click and hold, and that drags out, okay? Our video wall is designed to be more of a collaboration tool. So you're in that emergency operations center, and you have that large video wall, and you're looking at your client, a view that's different from the one that everyone else is looking at, and you want to quickly draw attention to what you see. So in this scenario, this individual just walked past me. What I can do is I can actually take this camera and I can drag and drop it on display one, and it will dynamically appear on display one in the video in the emergency operations center. So it allows you to pass those views from your client across the network to another client, to a video wall. Excuse me. Another way to think of this is if I'm in an office on the far right hand side, of my building, and my boss is sitting in the far left hand side. If he's on that same network, I can quickly grab a view, a camera, or a map, and I can drag and drop it on that display, and it will be sent across the network to his client. It's very unique. It's a little hard for me to demonstrate because we don't have a video wall set up in our virtual environment here. Excuse me one second. Any question on the difference between a video wall and our docking and undocking features?
Nothing in the chat so far about that.
Okay, great. So moving to the right-hand side of our screen here, you'll notice that this is a dynamic map. I can zoom out, and if I had, you'll notice over here, here's some cameras. This is another facility that we could quickly zoom in on and find our cameras. Simply by hovering over them, you get access to a live view of those cameras. Again, you can right-click, you can take a snapshot of that image, you can do a quick review of that image, which is going to give you the last 30 seconds to 10 minutes of recorded video, or you could jump straight into recorded video and start searching. Very important to point out that these maps, again, are dynamic, and you can quickly zoom in and out to find your other facilities. Okay, you'll notice here, I'm zooming back in, this is lighting red. So we're looking at the exterior of our building. We're getting an indicator that there's some motion going on inside. I do a double click of that hyperlink, and now I've jumped to the interior map of our building. I can now hover over that camera that was sending us the alarm, and I can see what's going on. Again, simply right clicking, I can take a snapshot. I can again do that quick review and review the last 30 seconds. You'll see we're getting another alarm here. The difference between these, this is a motion indicator and this is an alarm. So alarms are triggered for us a few different ways. They can be triggered by the analytics of a camera, or they can be triggered by some of our integration with our third-party partners, such as access control. So if this was a door that was just accessed using a badge, it can quickly be indicated on your map as well. And then you can toggle right back out to the exterior. Okay. We have some folks that put a couple hyperlinks like this on the side, so they can quickly toggle between floors, you know, first floor, second floor, third floor, from exterior to interior view. Okay. I'm going to point out another feature here called our Geo View feature. So I've jumped to the interior of my building. I can quickly come over here and hit the select camera icon. I can select just a few cameras with my box here, hit the eyeball button, and now my view took me to just those cameras that I selected. So in the event that you're notified using your color map features, you can quickly jump to that, hone in on a few cameras and bring those up on an individual view. When you're done with that individual view, you just hit the eyeball button and it takes you back to the view that you were looking at. Any questions? Yes.
We have a question in the chat from a few minutes ago. Elizabeth would like to know, can this be used as an enterprise system, as in multiple NVRs being able to be accessed at once?
Absolutely. No problem with that. So it is a fully scalable system. You know, 2 cameras up to 30,000 cameras across multiple platforms.
Awesome. That's the last question I see in the chat. So unless anyone has anything else that we've covered up thus far, we can keep going.
All right, perfect. So our events panel. So our events panel are synced with what you're seeing here. So we can at any point in time, this was a motion indicator that we got. This is an alarm, so you could quickly highlight that. You click the video button here. You're going to see a live view of that camera, but by simply clicking this playback feature, you're now going to be viewing the playback of that incident. Okay, this was a camera that was zoomed in this case, so it might not be the best example, but you can toggle back between your events, select any event, select the video feed, and get this is a playback of this particular camera. So this camera picked up some motion overnight outside of the warehouse. And again, you can toggle back and forth between live and that specific event. Okay. And for those of you, it's important to point out, for those of you who don't necessarily need all these features, we can quickly get rid of these features. You can click the X, we can actually go into settings, and we can also turn everything off through our settings. Okay. And we can also slide our navigational bar out of the way, so now you're doing nothing but looking at your live view of cameras. Okay. And if you want to see more detail, it's just as simple as double clicking. And now you have the detail of that camera. Okay. At which point I clicked once, you see my crossbars. I can potentially zoom in again based on the capabilities of the cameras. This is our tech support, which again is located in Austin, which is super important. When IPS has their boots on the ground and they have a question about the software, they're going to actually call into Austin, Texas and get a live body in our office. We've got some privacy monitors put up here just because these are our folks in our tech support. Double clicking takes you out of that screen and back to the view that you were looking at. And again, don't worry about messing up your layout because we can do that reset button and it's going to take you back to your default. Okay, so there's no concerns about drilling down into the software. Any questions?
Nothing in the chat.
All right, perfect. So we've talked a little bit about our live view. We want to talk about now searching. You know, that's the next step. So you have an incident and you need to search. So in this case, I'm going to use this exterior camera. We're going to double click to bring that camera to full screen. Again, we can slide any of these out of our way if we want to make that larger. Okay. I'm going to also very quickly, before I go here, before I forget, I want to talk about our dynamic resolution scaling real quick. So I'm going to overlay some features on these cameras. Okay. What you're going to notice here is now we have the bit rates of these particular cameras. Okay, these cameras can be large cameras in terms of megapixels. I believe this is a 5 megapixel camera on our back dock door. You'll see that that bit rate is 20 kilobits. So you'll see how we're dynamically scaling that down to the need of the client at the time. If I want more data, more resolution, by double clicking, you're going to see that bit rate jump up. It'll settle back down depending on what I'm asking the system to do, but this is giving you that real-time indicator of what that dynamic resolution scaling is doing. Again, if I double click out and I expand these and I'm making these screens bigger, you're going to see that bit rate increase because we're asking for more data. We're still not requesting that full resolution. So it is significantly reducing the traffic, the bandwidth going across your network. This is a huge feature, huge feature. Any questions on it? All right, I will take that as a no.
Sorry, I was muted. No, there's nothing in the chat.
Okay, I'm going to turn these properties off. Hit save, and now we're going to talk about our searching. So again, I'm double clicking, and what I want to do here is I want to figure out when this truck showed up. Okay. Again, when in our system, you're going to right click. You're going to get various options. So we can immediately take a snapshot. Okay. We can put some notes in here. So we can say, this is the truck. It was at our front door. By saving this as a PDF, you're going to get a nice little report generator. I'll show you what one of these look like here. Bear with me 1 second. It went to my desktop. So we've got a nice little report generator now for you. And remember, this resolution is certainly based off that camera. You've got your notes that you put. So it was our truck. It was at our front door. You've got the camera, the server location, and the date and timestamp. Okay, so you get a nice quick little report generator here of what took place. Okay, going back to the software, again, if we right click, we can do a pop-up review. So pop-up review is going to give you the last 30 seconds to 10 minutes of recorded video side by side the live. So if you're watching an event take place, you need to look at some of the past detail, you can do a side by side look. This is live view versus this is the last 30 seconds of recorded view. Okay, again, we give you the ability to take a snapshot. So if you see some detail that you need to capture while you're looking at that, you can quickly take that snapshot from there. Right click again, we've got quick review. The difference between pop-up review and quick review, you're getting that same 30 seconds to 10 minutes of recorded video, except it's not side by side. You leave the live view and you go into recorded video. Okay. So if we're searching for a specific event, we give you various ways to search. We give you the traditional review in a timeline. We give you something called search by list, and we give you something called search by thumbnails. My personal favorite is search by thumbnails. We're going to start with that. Search by thumbnails is going to take you into, notice we jumped from live view to playback. So we've left the live view. It took us automatically into playback. It is creating individual clips starting at 12 a.m. this morning, and it'll run through 11:59 p.m. That's why there's no data that's populated here, because you're seeing that this hour hasn't played out yet. Okay, so notice we've got 60-minute intervals. You've got the server, the camera, which can be changed at any point in time. You've got the date. If you need to change your date and go back, you can obviously change your date. But we were looking for when that pickup truck showed up. So you'll notice in these clips, he wasn't here. We're looking for the scene change. He showed up between 9:59 and 10:59. So by drilling down, by clicking this plus button, we've now taken that 60-minute intervals to 5-minute intervals. Okay. So you'll notice the truck is here. So he showed up very early in this scene. So we're going to drill down again. we've now taken that 60 minutes into 30-second intervals, okay? And at which point you can hit play again, and that is when that truck pulled in, okay? I'm going to show that again here. I want to go back. I'm going to go back to my live view. We're opening this clip. We're going to do a right click, recorded video, search by thumbnail. Okay, it's populating that data. Our truck is here, but he is not here, so we're drilling down into that data. We've now gone from the 60 minutes to the 5 minutes. Okay, we see our pickup truck here, but he is not here, so we're drilling down again. We've gone from 5 minutes now down to 30 seconds, and we're actually seeing that pickup truck position himself in that parking spot. So within 3 clicks, we were able to determine when that pickup truck showed up. Okay, at which point, again, based on your camera, we can zoom in, try to capture that license plate. We can take a snapshot, get the details that we want. And from here, we can actually export that video. Okay, so we found our 30-second clip that we want. Right next to take a snapshot, we're going to send to our export queue. Okay, it asks us, do you really want to? Yes, we hit the check mark. We just sent that to our export queue. Okay, up in the top right-hand corner, you'll see this little stack that is your export queue. Simply click the export queue. Think of this as a holding cell. So any clip during any investigation that you found is going to go to this export queue. We can come in here and we can simply click on that, highlight it. Now we've got our clip. We can hit play and we can watch him reposition. Okay. If you determine that you don't necessarily need all 30 seconds, we give you an option to trim that video. So we don't need him positioning his truck. We just want him parking and then getting out. So we scooted that video up and hit the trim button. Now we have shortened that clip. Okay. Again, we can watch it now for its detail if you wanted, or you simply export that. Okay, you'll notice that this says it's pending. Pending indicates that it has not been exported. Okay, so this is the clip we want to export. We can actually put a description here. So this is our truck again. Okay, you can name this clip. We'll say front door, right? And it's giving you all the details you have. We have included our video player. This is very important to make sure that you include our video player. Natively, we're AVI files, so our files will play on a Windows Media Player. However, by including the Salient player, it encrypts that data and it can prove that that file has not been tampered with. Okay, so we've named it, we've put our description in, we've got our video player included, and then you simply hit export. Okay, and then based on your internet speed, this will export that clip. You'll get a bar that goes across the bottom. I'm going to show you over here another clip that I've exported. So you'll see this progress bar go across the bottom. There it is. Our file has been exported. So I'm going to look for that clip here. I opened up our player, so there's the Salient player that was automatically downloaded. I hit open. Okay, and here's our front door clip. And there is our truck coming in. Okay, at this point, we can actually go to File and Verify, and we can prove that that file has not been tampered with. Any questions?
Don't have anything in the chat. Does anybody
Okay.
have anything they want to ask?
If you have multiple clips, those clips, you can simply come in here and you would hold the control button and select the multiple clips. You would hit export session. And what we actually do is we're going to stitch those clips together. So say you had an incident, in a cafeteria, and those cameras, they caught that incident with multiple angles. So you had 3 different cameras. You can bring all of those clips into your export queue. You could then export them as a session, and we will play them in our video player side by side. So you can actually see each clip unfold in that one file that you can export and then send out. Okay, we're going to go back to our live view. And I'm going to show you some of the other search capabilities. So again, we're going to right click, recorded video, that review in a timeline, which is pretty traditional for a VMS. In this case, we have some color coding indications across the bottom. So we record continuously on our front door. We have motion. So in the event that there would have been motion, and you'll have to excuse us, we don't have a lot of folks going in and out of the office right now because of COVID. But had this been triggered on motion, you would have actually got a red tick mark, and you could have quickly slid your search bar right over to that red tick mark. Additionally, if there was an alarm triggered by an analytic or the front door being accessed, you could have looked for that yellow tick mark, and again, you would slide your search bar over and then just hit the play, so you can very quickly find the events that have unfolded based on colors. Okay, I'm going to go to our interior very quickly because I want to show you another feature that we have for search. So by right-clicking, recording video, search by list. So what this is going to do is it's going to show you, again, based on color codes. So you'll notice we have that green continued motion. This is an employee entrance. Red is an alarm. So we have our building tied to our AMAG access control. So each time someone badges, we're getting an alarm indicator that that door has been badged. I can very quickly go to that event and then find the individual walking in. Okay, we can quickly jump to any event based on color coding. If there was a camera here that was recording on motion, you would simply have a red box here, and that would be a red motion event. So you could quickly toggle over to the red, select that event, and then it would play out for you. Okay, so this is what we call search by list. So lists are triggered by an event or motion. Okay, and again, events can be analytics built into the cameras, line crossing, facial detection. It can also be motion, or it can actually be an integration with our third party, like you're seeing here with AMAG. And we have that integration with various technology partners. So that is something, if you have an interest in, just make sure you ask your representative at IPS, and we can certainly give you the list of all of our technology partners. Any questions there?
Nothing in the chat.
All right. So we've talked about our ability to look at live video. Again, by selecting any of your views, we can quickly jump around when you're in the live view tab. And you'll notice again, let's go look at Alaska. So I'm jumping to Alaska. You'll notice it's still dark. They've got their map associated with it. We'll jump to Boise again. I'm highlighting how quickly we move. I'm sitting in my home in northern Kentucky. I'm jumping in and out of our servers scattered across the United States very quickly, very seamlessly. Okay, so that is our live. We're looking live at video. We talked about searching video. We also have a smart search capability. So in the event that you want to look at a feature on a table, something has been taken off of here. This box went missing. We can draw a box around this white box, and we can actually search and tell you the date and time that that box was removed. That's a smart search capability. So with our system, again, you can do a search in a timeline, you can do a search in list, you can do a search by thumbnails, or you have a smart search capability as well that you can quickly determine when something went missing. Okay, notice over here too, we're getting those alarms just like we would. There's an alarm here. So you're being triggered not only by the color indicators that are happening here, you're being triggered by the alarm notifications here. And as things happen, you're getting that same indicator over here. Okay, so various ways that our system is drawing attention to the fact that something is taking place. Okay. We talked about live searching and export. What I want to show you now is just how easy it is to build views and maps. So we're going to go under the custom tab here, and we're going to build a map. This functionality is the same when someone is setting up the global view. Same steps, I'm just doing it under customs, which will be unique to me as an individual. So again, I'm going to right click. I'm going to hit new map. Okay, we can name this. We're going to name this test. You type in your path here. So I'm just going to use a building that everyone in Cincinnati is familiar with. Okay, so there's Great American Ballpark. I can open any servers, so any server across my network, and it's as simple as dragging and dropping a camera. Okay, so that was in Boise. Let's jump down to Texas. Just drag and drop, and then we can position that camera. We can zoom in or out. Okay, and then it's as simple. We also can, these cones, some folks, they do or don't like the cones. We can turn the cones off. We can additionally turn the labels off. We leave those on. And then it's as simple as hitting save. This will tell you that your information has been saved and a map has been created. Okay, so there's our map. If we wanted to create a new view, same thing. We would come down here. We would hit new view. We have some customs layouts that are set here for you, but if you're doing, your own unique view, it's as simple as coming down in here, adding a few cameras, and again, we open up these servers, and it's as simple as dragging and dropping the cameras in. Okay. So there's that. You can also name this. We can change this to test 2. We can set the aspect ratio if you like. If you have a map that you previously created that you want to tie to this, you would simply come here and you could associate a map with it. So I just click the Alaska map. And then you would hit save. It would tell you that it is saved. So once you came back in here, we'll toggle off. And then you would just simply toggle back on. Again, I apologize, I'm having some buffering issues on my end. And it would take you right back to your view. Okay, you'll note up here while that is loading. So right here, this is a new feature with version 6. We've actually given you the capability to put some notes into the system. You can note individual cameras, you can note individual servers. And make notes. So if you're creating maps, if you're adding cameras for certain things at any given point, you can put notes and then you'll be able to go back and reference that at any time. Okay, so now you would just toggle back on to your test, and there's the map that we created. Any questions?
I don't see anything in the chat.
All right. Jim or John, would you like to add anything on the live view panel?
No, I think you have it covered. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to look at our alarm view module. So what alarm view does, if you have an incident where you have somebody monitoring your system that you don't want to have access to all your views, all your maps, this will specifically, if there is a motion or an alarm, something that triggers a camera, it will populate that. So we're likely to sit here and see nothing because there may not be any motion going on. These cameras are going to be triggered again based on an event. So you would see these cameras populate. There's an incident that took place right there. There's a motion. So again, you select certain cameras at any given point based on the person that you have wanting to view, and it's only going to show them that data as an event takes place. So you're going to get the live view going across the top, and you're going to get the event here. they can go back and they can look based on your permissions that you've given them. They can search live view. This is a camera that's actually, you'll notice there's some analytics built into it. It's detecting, a person and a face right there. So again, down here, you can get the live view details. You can get playback. This is just our alarm view. So it's being triggered by an alarm, and it's giving you access only to cameras that your permission has been granted. Any questions there?
Nothing in the chat box so far.
Okay. Is there anything that I've shown today that somebody would like me to go back and show again? Okay. One other feature that I do want to show you, it has to do with our third-party analytics that we built in. We talked about Briefcam earlier. So bear with me 1 second. I'm going to start this up for us. So we have a direct integration with Briefcam right from our software. You can access this. And again, I know I've gone very quickly today, simply because I want to be cognizant of everybody's time. So a very powerful tool. This is your ability to search by colors, a search by attributes, a search by directions. So we're going to quickly look here, and we're going to play. These are pre-recorded scenarios. So we're going to play the scenario. This is a department store. We're specifically looking at their shoe area. And what they've done here is they're stitching. So you're going to see various times. They're stitching everyone who has come together. And we're looking for that needle in a haystack. On the right-hand side, we can actually drill down into this data by selecting various categories here. So we're going to specifically look for someone with short sleeves. And I want you to notice that there's 5,306 unique instances of individuals in this particular clip. As we add some of these parameters and we apply them, you'll notice that number shrinks. So we just went from 5,000 down to 1,900 of unique instances, okay? Again, if we go back into attributes and now we'll say we want to find somebody who was in shorts and had a hat on and hit apply again, we're down to 24 individuals, okay? Any questions?
We do have a question in the chat. Does Salient have alarm system and/or card access system integration?
Absolutely. We have several technology partners that will certainly serve those needs. Just a question that we want to pass back to IPS and help you specifically regarding your specifics. Okay, I'm going to look at another case here. We will look at here. And again, we can take and we can draw the line. So we can create a path and then apply that. And it will tell us, you can see we went from 7,000 down to 6,000. And it's going to show you everybody that went in a specific direction. So there's very unique user cases for this. This is one of our third-party add-ons, just like an access control would be as well. So certainly if you have any desire or any questions regarding, third-party applications, specific analytics, access control, we would just point you back to your partners over at IPS, and we'll work side by side with them to get you the answers that you need. Any questions on Briefcam, how to access it, or back to Taylor, the question you just had, any other questions on our partners that we work with?
Any last questions from anyone? Going once, Going twice. All right, well, I know that was a lot of information to digest. I know when I first saw the Salient platform, I was very impressed. I thought they have a lot to offer. And like I said, I know it was a lot of information for us to cover. So I will post the recording for you to go back and review, and I'll send the link out to everyone. If you have a question later on down the road, I will follow up with everyone via email, so you'll have my contact information. Feel free to reach out to me. If I don't know the answer, I will get some help from someone here at IPS who is smarter than I am. And if we need to, we can loop Salient in as well. They're a great support for us. So if there are no further questions, I think it is going to be time to do our raffle, if I am not mistaken. All right, I've got my very official raffle box here. Give it a little shaky shake. And again, this prize is sponsored by Salient, so I just want to thank them for contributing to our webinar today, both with their information and their prize. So let's see what we've got here. All right, I've got Buddy Hager. Buddy, are you on the call still?
Yes, I'm on.
Oh, perfect. Well, you are our lucky winner of our gift card. So I will follow up with you afterwards and get that out to you. And then, like I said, I will follow up with all of our attendees to get you any follow-up information, my contact information, as well as work out where you would like your participation gift card for. So if there are no further last-minute questions or comments, I think we can cut everybody loose a little early. Give you some of your time back.
We certainly do appreciate everybody's time today, and please, reach out to your folks at IPS with any questions, and we'll be happy to set up a one-on-one with you guys and with the IPS representative.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.
All right. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.